Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your Tottenham Weekly News Roundup with me, David, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan.
And me, Matt Hayes, Ireland's #1 Spurs YouTuber.
And make sure you like that. Make sure you hit that like and smash that subscribe. Also, just a quick update. I did promise you that I'd be dropping Matty Hayes' Tottenham story tonight. But with the match tonight against Wycombe, you can blame BT for that not being dropped. So we're going to drop it tomorrow now instead. Look, it's January, and you know what that means. So, Matty, why don't you kick us off with all the transfer news surrounding the club this week?
Well, look, it's been a fairly quiet week, David. I think a lot of Spurs fans know that it's not the transfer window anyone was really expecting, with so many different factors coming into it. The only thing we're talking about at the moment is Dele Alli, and that's because he seems to be the key for Spurs in this transfer window. If Ali stays, there will more than likely be no incomings, and if Dele Alli goes, there may potentially be one incoming in terms of a replacement for him. The latest we're hearing on this is Fabrizio Romano has said in the last couple of days that the Tottenham board have now authorised Dele Alli's departure. But the thing that's getting in the way of this one is the board want a loan deal to PSG with Ali coming back in the summer with no option to buy. Whereas Daniel Levy, if he wants to see Dele Alli leave the club, which he's really reluctant to do, he wants to just cut his losses and get the money in if it's for a permanent deal this January or for a loan deal with an obligation to buy in the summer. So that at the moment seems to be where the discrepancy is between the Tottenham board and Daniel Levy. It'll be interesting to see how this one plays out, because I think the feeling within the club is very similar to the feeling among the fan base. Half of us want him to stay, half of us want him to go. And it's a really difficult one for that reasons. But also, as I said, the difficulties surrounding this January transfer window, it's going to be really difficult for PSG to actually get this deal done. I know Pochettino will be on the other side of this one, pushing it and really putting pressure on the PSG hierarchy to get Dele Alli into the club. We know how much Ali thrived under Mauricio Pochettino. So with about 6 or 7 days left in the transfer window, this is definitely one to keep an eye on. But whether or not it goes through really does remain to be seen. It'll be interesting to see how it pans out. And if we are looking at letting him go, Tottenham have apparently, according to some French outlets, have said if we are going to let Dele Alli go, we want to bring in a replacement first. So not let Dele Alli go and then sign a player afterwards. We're going to let him go only if we have a replacement lined up and in the squad list before he actually goes to PSG. Now, who that will be remains to be seen. There's a lot of talk about Marcel Sabitzer, but that would be a deal better approach in the summer, as Sabitzer goes into the last 12 months on his contract. Players that we apparently identified earlier in the window, such as Dominic Szoboszlai, he's already moved on to RB Leipzig, which could potentially free up a move for Marcel Sabitzer. But in the way of names in that sort of position, the ones fans are looking for, like Jack Grealish, James Ward-Prowse, James Maddison, just at the moment is out of the club's price range, again, due to the pandemic and a lot of other factors. So I don't think I can see this one happening, purely because there's just not enough, the funds aren't there to sign a worthy replacement for Dele Alli.
Yeah, to be honest with you, look, I'd rather just sell Dele Alli if that's the case. But look, it is what it is. Thank you, Matt. Now it's time to give you all the biggest stories coming out of the club. So look, of course, we'll start with tonight. Jose Mourinho is monitoring Doherty and Aurier's fitness. Dele Alli supposedly has an injury, but we think that's more to do with maybe a transfer happening. And of course, Gio Lo Celso is still out injured. And we also have a few fixture changes. Brighton, which on the 31st of January has been changed to a later kickoff to accommodate television coverage. So that's now kicking off at 7:15. The Chelsea game has now been moved to Thursday, the 4th of February. We kick off at 8 p.m. on BT Sports. And Man City remains Saturday the 13th of February, but with the kickoff changing to 5:30 to accommodate Sky Sports. And Burnley has been moved from Saturday to Sunday to 28th of February, kickoff at 2 p.m. And that's due to being in the Europa League knockout stages. And also, big congratulations to Dean McCandy, 19-year-old midfielder playing in the under-23s. He signed a new contract run until 2022. And now I'll pass it back over to Matt, who was on loan watch, to see how all of our players got on out on loan. So, Matt, why don't you tell us how the likes of Ollie Skip and Ryan Session and that are doing?
Yeah, there are quite a few Spurs players out on loan at the moment. We've even seen today Shiloh Tracy has moved out on loan to Cambridge. Now, Jack Rolls retweeting the news on that one, calling himself the agent in his move. Rolls only recently coming back from Cambridge himself, I think on the 4th of January, after a rather successful loan spell there. But we'll start with some other players who have been out on loan this month. Harvey White being the first of them. He played against Marine in the FA Cup third round, and he definitely really impressed the majority of Spurs fans, really controlling in that midfield. And he's gone out to join Portsmouth on loan. Portsmouth looking for promotion in the League One. Have a relatively strong squad there, so he's gone right into that team. He's already made his debut last. I think it was actually during the week on Tuesday. He made his debut. Nothing too special, he's getting those first minutes in the pitch, trying to acclimatise to his new team. But I think he can certainly be a really big player for Portsmouth there, and we could maybe see a similar effect from Harvey White at Portsmouth as we've seen with Oliver Skipp at Norwich. Norwich at the moment top of the championship, and that is thanks in no small part to Oliver Skipp, who's been absolutely terrific in the centre of the park, taking up almost the Højbjerg role for Norwich, breaking up play in the middle of the park, and something that we haven't seen from Skipp during his time, any time he's played at Spurs, is the kind of ability to carry the ball forward and to be a creative spark in there. He's shown a fantastic range of passing. He's already won 2 Player of the Month awards for Norwich this season, so he's definitely really impressive down there. He's started every single game for them this season, and he's played 97% of their minutes. So I think that just goes to show how important he is to that team. He's also made a few appearances in the FA Cup, but he's really, really impressive. We're not going to see goals and assists from him, but he's proven to be a crucial part of that Norwich midfield, who do have creative players like Tal Cantwell and Emi Buendia. So there isn't really much of a creative onus on Oliver Skipp, and he's really, really thriving in that deeper role. And, just developing his game, and maybe developing his game to a level where he could come into our team next season. Another player who has gone out on loan to the Championship this month is, of course, Jack Clarke. Again, he's featured a few times for Spurs this season as a fringe player, coming off the bench in the Europa League, and as well, he played a bit in that FA Cup game against Marine. He's already made a couple of appearances for Stoke, and he's looking really good. I watched Stoke earlier in the week. They played Watford, I think it was on Wednesday, and Jack Clarke was absolutely fantastic in that game. He's taken off with about 50 minutes left, and, Watford did win that game 2-1, but Clarke's so confident on the ball. He was picking up, he was progressive, he was driving forward, he was taking on men. He almost scored a fantastic effort from about 25 yards out that was well saved by the keeper. 2 games in, there's not really too much to talk about, but Stoke fans are already really impressed with him. I'm sure we've all seen the stuff on Twitter with how Stoke fans are falling in love with him already. And as a player who's already played with 2 championship teams and has been really important in his kind of first spell at Leeds, he knows the championship, he knows what it takes, he's really good, and I think he could be a very important player for them. As I mentioned today, Shiloh Tracy gone out on loan to Cambridge in the League Two. Their side who kind of are struggling for goals, and hopefully he can change that. Going out onto the continent, the sorrowful story of Juan Foyth and his time at Villarreal. He's only made 6 league appearances this season. It's really not working out for him. That is a loan with an option to buy for Villarreal. I can't see them activating that. Foyth, he's shown glimpses of quality for us in centre back and right back, and he does have the ability, but he just can't perform consistently on the pitch. And I know he's had some injury problems as well. He seems to be kind of more of a fixture in their Europa League team, having made 4 appearances there, and he's already got a goal and an assist in that competition. But in the league, only 6 appearances. Again, maybe a bit of a cup player, 3 appearances in the Copa del Rey too. So he's not really part of that Villarreal squad. And I'd be very, very surprised if he did make that move permanent in the summer. But onto a bit more of a success story, and Ryan Sessegnon got out to Hoffenheim. Escaped me there for a minute. He's been fantastic. We know from minute 1 with this loan deal that Jose Mourinho identified Hoffenheim as a team that he could go to, because they play a really similar system to perhaps what Jose is looking to do long term at Spurs, with that 5 at the back and Ryan Sessegnon playing in left wing back. I think we've all seen the pictures of him. He's really bulking up. He's much more of a physical player now, and he's scoring goals. He's getting assists. He's made 11 appearances in the league, 2 goals, 2 assists already from left back. Is of course a fantastic return. And a few of the games Hoffenheim have lost this season, it's been games that Sessegnon hasn't been on the pitch. So already he's shown how he's affecting that side and how important he could be to their team for the last half of the season as well. Now, Hoffenheim not performing as well as they usually do in the Bundesliga. They're kind of lingering just above the relegation zone, as they have been for the majority of the season. But Sessegnon certainly a bright spark in that squad, and he's one that will definitely be coming back to Spurs in the summer, maybe even next year if he does go out on loan again. I can't see any permanent deal for Sessegnon leaving Spurs anytime soon. But there's a lot of promise from these players. As I said, Oliver Skipp and Ryan Sessegnon, both among the best players at their club this season. Troy Parrott, I think a lot of Spurs fans are starting to kind of lose hope in him. He's made 11 appearances for Millwall in the Championship this season, and he's yet to put one in the back of the net. He's gotten 1 assist, and he's made a couple of FA Cup appearances. He played a game in the EFL Cup as well, and it's just not working out for him, unfortunately. And if he can't do it at the Championship level at this stage of his career, maybe some more loan spells in the coming years could be best for him. But even as an Irish fan, I know you feel the same, David. It's a bit disappointing to kind of accept, but I think his promise could be about to come to an end.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same, Matty. To be honest with you, look, for me, it's a hard one. He's too good for underage football. He scores too many goals. But look, is he really ready for senior football either? I don't know. And for me, it's kind of up to him where he wants to go from here. No one else can help him. But look, now on to the part of the news where we keep you up to date with our senior team and the women's senior team and our under-23s team as well. So look, and I'll give you a bit of the under-18s. The under-18s lost only their second game of the season, losing 4-1 away to Arsenal in the under-18 Premier League. The young coveted fullback coming off with an injury, Lewis Salah, I think his name is. So look, it's only their second loss of the season. They're absolutely flying in the under-18s, and we've some good player there. But with that, with the fullback coming off injured, I'm not sure how long he's out for, but it's a big blow for the under-18 squad. He's a highly coveted fullback. People were talking a lot about him in the summer, so that's a shame. And the under-23s beat West Ham 2-1 to send us top of the Premier League 2, with J. Neil Bennett scoring both goals. So there could possibly well be a low move on for this guy. I know he's highly rated in the under-23s, so there could be a low move. But look, that sends us top of the under-23s, which is the Premier League 2. So all things are looking good there. Sorry, and the women's team were due to play yesterday 2:30 against Everton in the Women's Super League, but look, it was called off due to weather. So there's nothing they can do there. But look, that'll get rescheduled, and I'll let you know when it is rescheduled. But look, if you want to keep getting these weekly news roundups, make sure you hit that like and smash that subscribe button, and let us know your thoughts and comments in the section below. Matty, do you want to plug what's coming up on your channel this week? A huge week for you.
Yeah, I've got some fantastic content coming up on my channel this week. There'll be no live watch along for the Wycombe game tonight, unfortunately, but tomorrow, Tuesday, there'll be a Tottenham preview with yourself, David, and Gav from the LFC Day Trippers as well. I'm going to have a huge live stream on Wednesday at about 7 o'clock ahead of Thursday's game. We're going to be joined by countless guests to preview the game, both Liverpool fans and Spurs fans, all content creators, I hope. So that'll be a fantastic stream. I encourage you to come and join us for that. And then, of course, the big one, Thursday night, kicking off at 6:45 p.m. We'll be going live, myself, David, and Marcelo, the usual gang. Maybe joined by some Liverpool fans so we can slag them in the build-up to that one as well. And then 8 o'clock kickoff, Spurs versus Liverpool watch-along. Everyone should come along and join that one. It's going to be a fun 3 points.
Yeah, make sure you definitely don't miss that watch-along. It's going to be great. Of course, we all enjoy doing them, which makes it even better. And Wednesday, with that massive stream you have coming up, that's going to be huge as well. And also, we have the end of the transfer window coming up, so I'm sure your boy Matty, the transfer guru, will be doing something for that. Look, for me this week, like I said at the start, I was due to put out Matty's Tottenham story today. But look, like I said, you can blame BT Sports for moving our game for their TV coverage. So tomorrow we're going to put out Matty his Tottenham story. I'll also have a preview coming for the Liverpool game. I'm not sure what special guest I have coming on yet, but I will have one. And of course, then the live watch along on Matty's channel, I'll be on that, and then I'll be giving you a review. And also I have more things coming up with Marcelo. And I'm going to start doing a Premier League prediction show with Charlie from Charlie THFC as well before every weekend's round of games. So make sure you get over and tune into that. And of course, me and Matty producing this weekly news roundup once a week. So make sure you smash that like and make sure you smash that subscribe if you want to see more of it. But look, until then, in Jose we trust. Come on, you Spurs.